page 7 of the prayer book, please. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha in the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha in the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest. To aid all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer, the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer, the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer, the Shakya clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides, then said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise, then I prostrate. With pure bodies, forms supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With the supreme signs, face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior, having great compassion, the founder, having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one gone to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who were liberated and also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage, to all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies as many as all realms, atoms, and all aspects, with supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous activities, perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. A star, a mirage, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning, a cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the foe of faults, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, perturbed by the ways of aging, sickness, and death. From Tushita's hundreds of God's protector's heart, to tip of this fresh, pure white heap, curd like cloud, O Loksangrakpa, Dharma's omniscient king, pray come to this place with your disciples. In space ahead, on lion throne, lotus and moon, venerable guru, smile brightly with delight. Praise day hundreds of eons to spread doctrine as supreme merit. Feel for my mind of faith. Your wisdom mind sees full range of knowables. Your eloquent speech adorns fortunate ears. Your beauteous body, fame, glory, outstanding. Homage to you, worthwhile to think of, hear and see. Pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense like perfume and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and envisioned, offered up to you, supreme field of merit, non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaved up since beginningless time, especially what has contradicted three vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife you strove to learn and practice, shunned mundane concerns, made life essential. O protector from depths of our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable gurus from love and wisdom, clouds densely massed in your Dharmakaya sky, pray loose a rain of vast profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever virtue that I've here gathered bring benefit to all beings and doctrine, and may it make Venerable Lobsang Drakpa's essential teaching specially shine forever. Mikmet Sewe Te Chen Chen Reisig Dri Me Kempe Wang Po Jam Pel Yang Tu Pung Malu Jom Se San Wei Dang Kang Chen Kepe Su Gen Song Kappa Lop San Trape Zabla So Watem. O glorious and precious Guru, seed of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness, bestow attainments of body, speech, and mind. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seed of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments common and supreme. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seed of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness, until supreme awakening remain steadfast. Homage to the exalted three jewels. Thus have I heard at one time the Blessed One was dwelling in Rajagriha on Vulture Mountain, together with a great assembly of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of the countless aspects of phenomenon called profound illumination. At that very time, the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, was looking perfectly at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, how should a child of the lineage train who wishes to engage practice of the profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the superior Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, replied to the Venerable Shariputra as follows. Shariputra, whichever son or daughter of the lineage wishes to engage in the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look perfectly like this. Subsequently, looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness, inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty, without characteristics. That is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. In emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no compositional factors, no consciousness. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomenon. There is no I element, and so forth, up to no mind element, up to no element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no cessation of ignorance, and so forth, up to no aging and death, no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, no cessation, and no path, no exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom, and because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhas who reside in the three times by relying upon the perfection of wisdom become manifest and complete Buddhas in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra, the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the equal to the unequaled mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering since it is not false, should be known as the truth. Mantra, the perfection of wisdom, is proclaimed. Tayata gate gate paragate parasamgate bodhi soha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva, great being, trained in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from the concentration and said to the superior Avalokiteshvara, the bodhisattva, the great being, well said, O child of the lineage, so it is. The profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra, great being, and the entire assembly, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, demigods, Gadavas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised what had been spoken by the Blessed One. In the Holy Supreme abode of the Dakinis, possessed of clairvoyance and miraculous power, unwaveringly caring for practitioners as your children, homage to the host of the three places Dakinis, Akasamara. Tayata om gate gate paragate parasom gate bodhi soha. Through the power of truth of the exalted three-jewel speech, all on the side of negativity, such as the four Maras, be stopped. May they become non-existent. May they be pacified. All enemies, obstructors, and hindrances, Shante Kuriye Soha. The 80,000 types of obstructors pacified, free from adverse harmful conditions. May all be conducive and perfect auspiciousness, bring happiness and well-being here right now. Saji Perki Jushin Meta Tramri Rablingji Nidegempadi Sange Jingdu Nisheuar Gidroku Namdab Zingla Chopar Cho Jesu Lama Dan Chongde Songi Chonala, Jaju Padu Gagdi Kepsuchi, Dagi Chonye Gepe Sonam Ki, Drola Penchu Sange Drupa Sho. Chongde Songi Chonala, Jaju Jaju Dagdi Kepsuchi, Dagi Chonye Gepe Sonam Ki, Drola Penchu Sange Drupa Sho. Chongde Songi Chonala, Jagju Pardu Gaptu Kepsuchi, Dagi Chonye Gepe Sonam Ki, Drola Penshir Sange Drupa Sho.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. How is temperature? Do you want AC or your fan? Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, weather is something very hot, something very cold. Sometimes 80s, 100s, yeah. Like sim is very our temperature. Human beings temperature. Temperature.
98.6.
Yeah. No, my temperature means our emotion. The human temperature means human temper. Right? We easy to up down like this. Anyway, it's wonderful. I think since Sagadava we are very busy, non-stop. I think things very go well. It's very good. Also last week, we have big meeting here. Also a lot of people help for that time, volunteers. So thank you all of you guys, girls, boys. That's a very good job. And we are very honored to host like that country. This is a Tibetan tradition, religion, Buddhism, or we have 6 different traditions. They're all representative come here. Most United States, some come from India. We have 2 days meeting, conference. The purpose of conference is to learn each other, connect each other, exchange our different traditions. Like that. I think this is maybe first APMD center host that kind of meeting. We have like 17, 18 monks, Rinpoches, Geshes, Gambos here. It's good anyway, very good. Then we have His Holiness birthday. It's very wonderful also. Like all busy, like 7 days a week, 24 hours, 7 days a week. It's wonderful. We rejoice. Thank you for all of you help. Then, what else? Anyway, you guys, like you guys, is that like I'm the Tibetan or the person, I'm Buddhism. Since I'm born, I'm Buddhism. Or my family is Buddhism. But you guys are not Buddhism, most not, right? You're different religion, maybe you don't have religion, maybe you don't believe religion. Then now you become taught to study in Buddhism, you're interested in Buddhism. That'd be nice, His Holiness always mentioned Last year and a couple of years ago in Washington D.C., he had some conference that he gave public talk. He said, it is very, we need to so many different kind religions. If we have only one religion, then also it's not recover for all the people's wishes. Is that correct? Or maybe it's not reach for all the people's wishes. He give the example. This is very, of course, His Holiness makes sense. Anything what he said, that meaning. There's sometimes I say we don't much pay attention, but that there is an example. If you go to supermarket, okay. You have so many different kinds. We have choice. If like that, we don't have only one choice. People are bored. Or I have to go again that bored. For example, special Westerns. You eat. Have you eaten 1 week same food? Really? Can you eat 2 days same food? 3 days? Every same food all the time? Like pizza every day, salad every day. Like especially the Western tradition, they don't want to eat same food all the time. Therefore, you don't want to wear the same clothes every day. I can say every day you can change. Because this is no problem, but this is our nature. Therefore, he said, if you have only one choice, it doesn't recover for all the people's wishes. Therefore, same is like that. It's a lot of different kind of religions, very good. People can choose, especially Western can choose. Today go here, tomorrow go there, go there, go there. Like that. Therefore, he always very important to respect for all different kind of religions. Of course, there's something, all the problems come from religions also. But it's not the religion themselves. It's the person they use the religions. That's correct? Yeah. This is really very important, to make different. For example, this is not Western tradition. I'm the monk. If I do bad things, there's Tibetan monks doing bad things. Yeah, I'm Tibetan monk, just by myself. You say, Geshe Tenley doing bad things. It's okay, right? Just one person. You bring Tibetan monks, you bring all Tibetans. It's really not good for. Then, also it hurts for other people's feelings. Even His Holiness always mentioned Islam. He said, some people, the Islam people doing bad things. This is not representative the religion of the Islam. They're just person who use. Sometimes also political people use their religion. Makes problems, right? But anyway, this is usually we don't talk the bad things, always good things. Anyway, therefore, very important to respect for, all the religions. Then what religion you like, this you can choose. Therefore, you guys already chose Buddhism. I'm sure you guys already have different religions. Maybe you grew up different traditions. It's okay, it doesn't matter. Now you try to choose the religion about Buddhism. The Buddha gives very important message for us. Very, very important, he said, don't just follow me if you like me. Is correct? Does it make sense? He said, okay. Gyano takong kendamachi, seche dawe sechen, leparta la ngayik, lawa shayi kishamans. Okay. How you say that? He's very, very hopeful. Yeah, you have to say that.
What's that?
Gelong takong kenamji, seche dewe, seche lebata la ngai, longwa sha yo geshermans, just no,
And so just like Buddha Shakyamuni mentioned, about how one should follow his teaching. So he said, the bhikshus and the wise ones, please examine my teaching carefully, and just like you will examine the gold, by using different methods, to examine the gold, just like that. You should examine my teaching, and then after that, if it makes sense to you, then you should take it, or you should practice it. Practice just because of that, not because you respect me.
Okay, this is a very, very unique, or a very specific. He gives the message. This is very important for us. Therefore, we are free. If you like or not, doesn't matter. He said, "Don't follow me. I'm the Buddha." That's not good. Therefore, the second thing is, after you take my teaching, what? Subdue your mind. This is my teaching. Means what? We have two different kinds, mind, emotions. Like attachment, angry, jealous, hatred. That kind. And then we have another one, compassion, loving kindness. Be kind, be nice. Usually Westerners will be nice the mouth. I don't know, they're really hard. The mouth, they talk, nice to meet you, even, very nice to meet you, I'm very glad to see you. But, it's very good thought, good. Our mouth and inside your heart go together. Okay? I'm not saying you guys bad, but it's like tradition, Usually, maybe I can say, I never saw other Westerns two fighting each other like that. You're doing bad, that. Even your difficult, challenge, and, messages, phone messages, emails, but you meet, very nice, bad. See you, come on, dress. You look good. Oh, yeah, you're sorry. But this we call silky mouth. Do you know silk? Very soft, very soft. They were not like that. This is not, this is a tradition, but this is not really, just lie. It's honest, just lie. Therefore, we need to, compassion, loving kindness, be nice, be humble. The humble means you don't have to, okay, sir, not like that, not like that. Then the good things, taking others responsible. That kind of means we need, don't subdue it, okay? We subdue attachment, angry, jealous, hatred. Neighbor's dog poo my yard, then you get mad, right? Dog have no control. Like that, okay? Subdue your mind. This is the teaching of Buddha. This is my teaching. Therefore, the purpose, study, practice Buddha's teaching is be happy person. Be relaxed person, okay? Be calm, not nervous. This is purpose, okay? This is a temporary goal. The faraway goal. Long-term goal to achieve enlightenment. Same like Buddha Shakyamuni, Guru Rinpoche, Lama Zopa, Tara. When you be enlightened, then someone build your statue, then begin offerings, warbles, ancestors, if your allergy also. Anyway, enlightenment, what means enlightened? Free from all the sufferings. Then what is suffering? There are so many, very sorrow ones, grow ones, different kind. The easiest one is what suffering means. Unacceptable things. This is we call suffering, right? You don't need to too many, you don't need to fall on your roof. You don't need to, hit your car. I hit the yesterday. What is it called? Mata's car. But is your car a little bit stretched, right? My car is nothing there. I don't know. She drove there, parked there, then I told her, took her there, I said, I can do that. Try that. There's some part, I touched the car, the mark was there. Yeah, I don't know, my car has not, I don't see any signs. You got to change, right? Yeah. Anyway. Oh, he said, why have to talk that? Yeah. Oh yeah, suffering, yeah. Anyway, anything that we don't want, like, this is we call suffering. Okay, we don't want it too hot, we don't want it too cold. We don't want it too hot. Then when it's too hot, you have to put your AC, then you get electricity back, bill will come up, you don't want to use that. I don't know, you guys, Westerns like that. Tibetan, I go to Tibetan family's house here. Kitchen here, dining room here. Eating here, already turn off the light in the kitchen. They say, what are you doing? Oh, just rest, electricity. It's just so nice that the bill will come up. Like that, when we use the heat, we also, electricity go up. We don't want that. Anyway, the purpose study Buddhism, Buddha's teaching is be a nice person. Transfer our mind. If you're a very angry person, think about this text, chapter 6, okay, what the chapter 6 says, is give you a whole, different, ideas, harms our human, human, power,
potential,
human system, instant, how is that? Another one, no power.
But the person power.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because 당가도 공로도 쌓아지, 가지고 생각 맞지 오치와나 아니 먼저 수보고 버린 니반 냠도 그랬어. 생각도 이해하지. 수보 니반 냠도 그랬어.
So he's saying like, if you become angry all the time, and not only that harms your mind, but also it reduces the strength of your body.
Okay, that was okay. I'm not going angry anymore. I'm not hit anymore. It doesn't work. You need to reason. Check, okay. In the Shantideva, he said, if it is fixable, if it's possible you can fix, don't worry. Don't complain. You can fix. If it is not possible to fix, then also don't worry. It doesn't matter you yell 24 hours. It doesn't fix. But you guys doesn't yell, right? You got to yell here. The smartphone is very good. 10 years before, we don't have smartphone, right? Now everyone has. Old, young, doesn't matter. Everyone has smartphone. Smartphone is our friend, best friend. Right? We always talk that. We don't talk our friends next to us, we just talk phone. Anyway, like that, okay? These things, we need that, some message Buddha is that's very deep meanings. We need to understand that, okay? Okay, like that. Then I think my English is finished. My English has a limit, Our angry and emotional limit one day. I'm not saying you guys angry, okay? You guys very, what is that? It's not your problem. It's just country, this how you, the culture, Okay? Therefore, if you like study Buddhism, so don't push too much yourself. It doesn't work. Read just maybe 1, 2 verses. Then think about that. One of my teachers, whenever we go to see, he always like to say that. He put one book in front of him. He always like that. The one time I said, what are you doing? I said, I'm just thinking about that. Because you read the verses, then think about analytic, how they walk. Therefore, Geshe Rinpoche, last 2-3 weeks he came here. He doesn't have any books. Usually the Tibetan monks have we say daily practice. We have like this much big prayer. We carry all the time. Because we already take the commandment, then we have to do every day. Then we don't have to memorize. We have to take it with books all the time, wherever we go. Now I think he has maybe biggest commandment, but he don't have any text. All he's memorized. Whenever I go see it, he just like that, then if you are memorized, then you can also very easy to meditation. Therefore, you guys, usually Westerns is very easy, okay? I read this book, finish. I read the book, finish, you leave that. But not like that. If you read the one book, a couple of times. One time His Holiness teaching the guide to the Bodhisattva Way in Saranat, I was trained there. Then he told us to, okay, now this book, don't leave that, take with you, go back, it's your daily practice. If you read 9 times, you can understand 9 different ways. Because the book doesn't change the meaning, but you get more knowledge. Right? Therefore, try to more study much as you can. Also, don't push too much. Then you'll be exhausted. Then you say, I like to donate these books for center. You put some boxes, things, but getting the box. Can I donate for that 10 center? It's not a good sign. It means you, goodbye. It's okay, goodbye, it doesn't matter, It's also, Buddhism way, is that you lose to one opportunity. Okay? Like that, then the purpose, study to practice. Practice means do that, What means practice? You have to action. Action, you have to do action. Usually Western, I'm not a good practitioner. I'm very bad, very, very bad practitioner person. I'm a very lazy person. But the Westerns also, they have so many different ideas. But they didn't really come to on the table. They don't really action. Chashi Mambusha. And then Lama Zopa Rinpoche.
So we have always, so many plans to do things, right? But we don't get, to do all of those things. So it's like so many plans, but not action.
Yeah. Therefore, action is very important. In order to action, also good to your plan. But also, sometimes you don't have plan, it just happens, it's easy. It's a Western and it's tradition, because you guys are very well organized, well educated person. Therefore, you like to very good plans. Then your plan doesn't go a little bit wrong way, you get very upset. You say, I spend this much time trying to walk, then you get come upset. Right? It's upset? Even you say, okay, I want to put this table here, this chair here. Then someone moves different direction. They say, this is my plan, doesn't work. I plan like that, you can't make it. It's okay, doesn't matter, usually. But, very easy to upset. Therefore, sometimes a good plan. But even not plan, just do that. I changed last week so many, just a couple minutes, change things, Poor girls. But also one purpose, I try to make it look more flexible. maybe think also Geshe is doing crazy things. But also you see all the time like that, your mind become, oh yeah, like that all the time. Otherwise, now what happened? Therefore, it's also makes a little bit more flexible. Because you guys are always perfect. We never done perfect. Okay? Then try to read the book, put a little bit into practice. Every day a little bit. Okay? A little bit of meditation. The meditation is what? Okay, what can I do meditation? Just look at you angry. Don't look at your neighbors, okay? How's my husband? He's angry person. How's my wife? She's jealous person. Don't look at that. Just yourself. Okay, when I get angry, what kind of situation makes me angry? How can I stop like that? If like that kind of situation, when I got mad, is fixed or not? Okay? Think about like that. Okay? Do a little meditation like that. Okay, now we go to the text. Otherwise, I'm just talking here. Today is the second chapter, verse 26. It's talk about the refuge. Okay? The refuge is the passport of Buddhism. Nationality. It's a word, where your nationality? You have to write on something, right? Do you have more books?
No, they're all out.
They are all out. It's okay. Maybe you have one. If someone have two, you can borrow some. It's okay. If you don't, oh yeah, they got books, yeah. I think they got it. Anyone got it? Maybe I'm not talking book too long. I like to talk a little bit more about refuge today. Today is the place for the refuge. Okay?
So, in verse 26, let's read that together. I go for refuge to the Buddha as far as the comprehensions of enlightenment. I go for refuge to the Dharma, the community of Bodhisattvas.
Okay? 당연히 ben jamru세의 용당도 먼저 사무지 따와나스와 benata 누마다 가와 몸문해야 먼저 ben아 미드로야 다와다 니말야 잡종을 뭐 요래서 26 verse 26 second chapter.
So talking about the refuge, so taking refuge, right? When we say taking refuge, many years ago, people used to take refuge in the suns and moons. Even nowadays, there are many believers who take refuge in suns and moons. So how that came about is that usually when it gets dark, right, when it becomes darker and darker, then we get anxious, get like a scary and worry. People start to get anxious or worry. And so that's because of the whole area becoming dark, right? When it becomes dark, then you get worried, anxious, worry. And then at that time, what you're looking for is a light, right? So when you think about a light, then you say, oh, if there's a light, I'll be free from this anxious, from this worry. So therefore, when they seek for the light, from the moon and sun, to be free from that anxious. And also in the dark, when it becomes night, it says it's like the ghost hour, ghost time, and the spirits of the ghost, they wake up and then they start to go around and then cause trouble to people.
Tenley Kabayani, Kundu Mizati, Shindundawodo, Tradodo, Chindawodo, Negio, Kenagio, Tenedon, being something in the Yore.
And then also people believe that those spirits and ghosts, they reside in places like mountains, rocky mountains, or trees, or ponds, in the water, and so forth. So I'm not sure about the Westerners, but maybe many Easterners, they believe like that.
Any Charangaro Pasoronas in the college calendar or tree with the Tango Chandra will look, Matonda will look, go on the door to the Chegre, and Trigina Kondo Japchasama.
So because of that anxiety they have, and the worry they have about the ghosts and the spirits, causing harm to them, especially when they go to sleep in the night and then they have a bad dreams or omens, then they think, oh, maybe it's the spirit causing. So then they go to these places where they believe the spirits reside, like the mountains, the trees or rock, and then the ponds, and then they make offerings there. Of course, even though they don't see it, they don't see the spirits there, but they just believe that it's there, and then without seeing it and believing that it's there, then they talk and says, oh, please don't cause any harm to me, and I'm going to make these offerings to you. And then they make offerings of anything they think is offering worthy. So if you have visited India or other places, like in Asia, many people, they believe like that. So in the backyard of their house, they always have a tree or like a big piece of stone where they make offerings, thinking that there is a spirit there.
아니 대지라야 아니 대니 따양한도 다 대 삼진 정도서 아니 당한도 지금 사세지 나도 지대 자상에 셔바보 대지 양케라야 telaya 잡죠 돼 그래서.
And then not only that, but then later people started to believe that, oh, there is a creator. So somebody has created all these, the whole world and the people, everything inside in the world is created by somebody. So there is someone who is doing this. So we should take refuge in that God or creator. So that's believed still nowadays, right? So many people believe in that. So that is how it is in general, about taking refuge. When we say take refuge, that's how we usually do. But in Buddhism, when we talk about the refuge has to come from two things, the cause of the refuge. Right? So that's called the fear of the suffering, and the belief, in someone who can protect you. So fear and belief. So the cause may be similar. Cause may be similar also in that case, right? In the case, where they believe in the spirits and so forth, the cause can be similar. And so the cause is same, right? That they also are afraid, about their suffering, and then they take refuge in the spirit. So believing that the spirit has the power to protect them. So that's the cause is about same. But in Buddhism, what what goes above that, is that you have to find somebody who can really protect you. And so that's why it says here, so I cover refuge to the Buddha, as far as I go refuge in Dharma and community of Buddha. So those are the object of refuge, like the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, who have the power to protect you.
간제 아니 타와다 탐전제만 도와이나 대기잡조도 상제다 추기는 손들에 예수말.
So Nagarjuna mentioned in one of his texts that those who wishes to be free from suffering, or who wishes to achieve liberation, they should take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha.
근데 다 된리 상제가나 안 잡거나 아라닌 집안 다달래 조상이 고 요래. 아무 잠내대.
So yeah, it's no problem taking refuge in somebody, right? But that person who you take refuge in has to have the potential or the power to protect you. right? And so you have to take refuge in someone like a Buddha, who is free from all the problems himself.
Pena number tangi mupena nija sunja ana kine shilong dongi jewa number yago tamahina kora yago tamahina ko kido marwa.
So like for example, someone who can fly the aeroplane, carrying so many like hundreds of passengers and luggage and so forth, has to know how to fly, right? If he doesn't know how to fly the plane, then he will not be able to do that.
Tendri yata nanzu ani chapsagana ani ran jiban tendri ko cheju shire den ko res tendri chapte cheju shire den ko res.
And so that kind of object of refuge, in whom we take refuge, right, has to have all these qualities. The qualities of being able to protect us.
Tendri chawe de kora ani jiban tatala trasawa hingba. Ani yen jiban le trawa talan kengi ko res.
So when we take refuge in somebody, because of some fear that we have, right? So that person has to be free from that fear. If he is also he has the same kind of fear as we do, then he won't be able to protect us, right? So he has to be free from those fears or those sufferings that we are trying to get out of. And not only he is free from that, he should be free from that fear, but he should be also skilled in freeing others from those fears. And he should be someone who is compassionate, right? Thinking about others, only about others, and not worrying whether that person has done anything for you or not, any favor for you or not. Whether that person has helped you or harmed you, you should always have a thought wanting to help that person. And who doesn't have partiality, so bias attitude towards somebody. So, oh, this is my friend, so I'm going to help this. This is my enemy or someone who has caused harm to me, so therefore I'm not going to help this one. It should not have that kind of bias. So it should have those kind of four qualities. And so who is a person who has this kind of qualities? It's the Buddha. The Buddha has all these qualities. And so we might ask again, who saw those qualities in Buddha? Who saw those qualities in Buddha? Who? How do we know? How do we know that Buddha has those qualities? So in the text it says that, but are you just going to believe in the text? Or you want to find out who said? Did you see that? Did you see that Buddha has those qualities? You have to know how Buddha has those qualities, right? Just because someone says, you're not going to believe that, right? So how do you find out that Buddha has those qualities? And so that's where you have to examine his teachings. Right? So examine his teaching, just like I mentioned earlier, you should examine his teaching. Like Buddha said, you examine my teaching just like you would examine a gold by burning it, by cutting it, or by rubbing it and so forth. Right? So that's how you examine gold. Just like that, you should examine my teaching. And then if you really find this is, it makes sense, then you can follow it.
Okay?
And so you see the information about the Buddha's teachings in the book. You read it, and then you say, okay, so if I think in this way, just like it is said in the book, does it really make me happy? And if it does, then that's good. Then that's true. Right? If it doesn't make you happy, then then that's not true. So that's how you examine it.
Okay?
So Buddha is the one who tells you what problem you have, how to get rid of that, so forth. Just like a doctor. When you have a disease, when you are not feeling well, you go to see the doctor. And the doctor will say, oh, you have this disease, and you take this kind of medicines. So Buddha is like a doctor. So the Buddha, diagnoses the suffering or the diseases that we have in us. So Buddha has already explained to us, diagnosed and explained to us what kind of diseases we have. So the diseases that we have are the attachment, anger, ignorance, jealousy, pride, and so forth. And so that is like the disease, like a disease, right? So if you have, as long as you have those afflictive emotions arising in your mind, then you'll be not happy. So that's suffering. So Buddha is like a doctor, like a teacher, who explains to you, who teaches you what are the problems and how to get rid of them. And the Dharma is like the medicine. Dharma, the teaching, is like the medicine. The doctor has given you the medicine, and now it's up to you whether you take it, whether you get better or not, depends whether you take it or not. So we have already been given the medicine of the Dharma, but we're just not taking it. So we have been given all those medicines, right? Medications, for 24 hours and 7 weeks a day, but we're not taking it. So that medicine is the Dharma. And so what is the Dharma? In a simple way of talking about the Dharma is the good heart, like compassion, loving kindness, a superior intention, or the thought wanting to help others and so forth. So those are Dharma. So like when you have very strong love towards somebody, you will not have anger towards that person. Will you? At that time, when you have very strong love towards somebody, you will not have anger, right? So when you have very strong compassion towards somebody, you will not have a thought wanting to cause harm to them, right? Anger and so forth. And so when you are able to arise, those positive attitudes like loving kindness, compassion, and so forth, then you are, like kind of closing the door, for the negative emotions like anger, jealousy, and so forth to rise. So we're opening the wrong doors, or closing the wrong doors. So we're closing the door that we should not be closing, like the door of the loving kindness and compassion. And then we open the door that we should not be opening, the door of the anger, ignorance, attachment, and so forth. Just like the two exit doors, right? So most of the houses in America have two doors, two exit doors, right? In the house, in the whole house, not every room, but in the whole house, right? So we always open and end up opening the doors of the afflictive emotions, like either of the anger, ignorance, jealousy, or attachment, or so forth. So always opening the door of the afflictive emotions. So those are poisons. So the poisons we're eating all the time, right? So if you eat poison, what happens? You become sick, right? So those are the poisons, the afflictive emotions. And so the loving kindness, compassion, and the good hearts and so forth, all are the medicines. So it's a good medicine. So if you take that, then you become more relaxed, you become happy and free of sufferings.
Okay?
And so those are the medicines that we should take, practice we should do. So in order to do that practice, we have to know how to do that. And in order to know how to do that, we have to study. Without studying, there's no way we can know how to do that. So if someone says that you can be enlightened in a few days, in a couple of weeks and so forth, then that's lying. So if you just sit your eyes shut for 24 hours, then you'll be enlightened. That's lie also. So even in Tibetan Buddhism, there's some people or texts that mention that. And so that's what came up in the discussion or conference that we had last time, with the conference among the different Tibetan Buddhist traditions. So they say, in some traditions they mention like that. So that's total lie. So you just meditate for 1 week and you'll be enlightened. So that can be true for the advanced practitioners. Right? So you have already reached so high that in maybe 24 hours you will be enlightened. You have reached high now. But for when there, there's no way. So, we always recite the benefits of the Tara prayers, right? The benefits. It says, those who wishes to have a son will have a son, those who wish to have wealth will have a wealth. Do we get that right away? We recite Tara prayer all the time, right? Every day. So, there is also before that line, right? It says, if you recite 2, 3, and 7 times like that, right? So, that's it. When you count up to that, maybe it comes about 42 times. You have to recite, the 21 verses to Tara. And if you really do that practice, on a daily basis, then it's possible. But we don't do that much of practice. We just recite one time and we expect to have that. So that's not possible. And not only just reciting, but you have to recite with a full concentration by thinking about the meaning of the words and by visualizing the Tara, just like it is explained in the verses, right? So you do that, then it's possible. Otherwise, if the way we do, from the way we do, even if we recite 100 times a day, maybe we'll not, get the result because we always, do it with distraction, full of distractions, right? And we always rush, saying, when I'm going to be able to finish it, when I'm going to be able to finish it. So always rushing and doing, with the distraction, that's not possible. And so that's, in order to do the practice, we have to know how to do that, and for that we have to study. So once we have studied, then we should practice in a proper way. Then it's possible to have those good results. And so just like, you go to see a doctor and doctor says, you have these kind of diseases and you have to take this medicine. He writes down the medicine for you and you go to get the medicine from the pharmacy, you pick up the medicine. And then after that, also you have to follow the instruction, right? So how do you take the medicine, when do you take, and how much you take, and all these things, you have to follow that, right? You have to do it in a proper way. So just like that. If you do that, then you can get better. If you don't do that, if you don't follow those instructions, then you will not get better. So just like that, when you receive the teachings, and then you have to follow the instructions and practice in a proper way, then you can get the good results. And also the practice has to be done by oneself. Someone else cannot do it for you. So just like Buddha said, I cannot wash I cannot eliminate the sufferings of these sentient beings. I cannot wash their sins. I cannot transfer them my realizations. The only way I can help them, is by teaching them the Dharma. So that's even a Buddha cannot do it for us. So how can someone else do it for us? So if it's possible, wouldn't Buddha have done it already, right? So if it can be done by somebody else, then Buddha would have done it already. So if I can do that, I would have done that also. So we always try to help each other, right? So of course, if it's possible, to do it for you, then I would have done it already. And so the like the loving kindness compassion is which we can generally have, right? So that's the conventional dharma. The ultimate dharma, is the true path and the true cessation. So the true path, referring to the realization of the emptiness, direct realization of emptiness, and bodhicitta. So those are the real or actual dharma. And so someone who has that kind of realization, the true realization of the true path and true cessation, is called sangha. So we just, we hold the name Sangha, right? Just because we help each other, to do the practice. So we can call also that community, it's called Sangha. So the Sangha, is like similar to nurse, the nurse in the hospital, who helps you to give medicine, give you the shots and so forth. So that's like the nurse. So these are the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the three objects of refuge. So the Buddha, who's like the doctor, is the founder of the refuge, or the teacher, right, who teaches you what is wrong and what is right. And then the Dharma, is like the medicine that actually cures the disease. That actually, so the Dharma is actual refuge, and the Sangha is the helper of the refuge, or to achieve the refuge, the protection. Just like the nurse that helps you to take the medicine, but you have to take it yourself.
Okay.
So if we are really ill, then the sick, then we have to depend on all these three, right? Doctor, the medicine, and the nurse. Just like that, because we are severely ill and all these sufferings in samsara, therefore we have to depend on all Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha.
Okay.
And to be free from this, the entire suffering of the cycle existence, we need all these three, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And so, in short, what is refuge? Refuge, is like having fear, towards the suffering of the cycle existence, and believing that Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha has that power to protect us from those sufferings. So those two, when you have those two, then you will have refuge. So of course we all go through all the sufferings of the cycle existence, right? We have from the early morning till night, we always have these sufferings.
In the television, never go to you, each Tewa Kanjana, the Sonat and Rojo Charatin, so the Malavakadi, Hakona, each Chegawa.
And so we have that aversion or the fear towards those sufferings, right? Because we're going through that all the time. But then how do we develop that belief or faith in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha? Is by studying these texts.
Okay? And then
also there are three different kind of refuges. So the refuge, for the small scope refuge, and the medium scope refuge, and the great scope refuge.
마치 제대로 열어봐. 대문에 지나 주변남다 자기 말해.
So most of us, we do the things, for this life, right? So for us to be happy now, at this time, in this life, right? And then if we do anything for this life, it really doesn't become dharma. Of course, it does help. It does help because you create merit by doing that, right? By doing some practice, even if you aimed it for this life, still it helps.
아니 답배샤는 남주 송아잖아. 아니 라나 셴게 소리 동아리 타야 체다 아니 잡순다 바이나 아니 제외 중에 잠도 세장. 제외 중에 도모. 내 송을 동아리.
소소로 셴다.
소소 내 송을 동아리 타야 체다 잡순다 거들아 아니 제외 중에 도모. 아니 잠도.
So in order for it to be a Dharma practice, at least it has to be for the sake of future life, right? So when you think about future life, I don't want to be born in the lower realms, in the hungry ghosts or hell or animals. So in order to be protected or free from those realms, I'm going to take refuge. So then that becomes a small scope refuge.
아니 다 나랑 내서 동아리 타라평 야종 같은 고와를 지났더니 들으면 다 들으면 고와를 타고 온다고 하면 고와를 타야 체를 잡선 되겠더라. 기분 좀 더 모아들라 그래.
And then you think about it, and so, even if I'm born in the upper realm as a human or gods or demigods, then still I have to go through a lot of suffering, just like I go through a lot of suffering now. So therefore, it's not sufficient just to be free from the suffering of the lower realm. I have to free myself from the entire cycle of sin. So therefore, I'm going to take refuge in the Buddha Dhamma. Then that becomes a medium scope refuge.
아니 다 나랑 고와 타는 것도 생신 탐주된 하나 까리지 못이라 콘솔을 로바치거든. 내가 콘솔 고와를 타야 체도 상대 고마 도고 대로 로바치 잡으면은 제외 친구 잠로서지.
And then you think about yourself, and then it says, it's not sufficient just to free myself alone, because there are all these sentient beings, who have been my mother, who have been very kind to me in all these lives, and I can't just leave them alone, leave them behind. So I have to also, think about freeing them from the suffering. So how do I do that? Is by becoming Buddha. So in order to help all sentient beings, to be free from suffering, I must become Buddha. And in order to become that, I'm going to take refuge in the Dharma, Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So then that becomes the great scope of refuge.
Okay, 잠로도 되는 거 같아. 근데 대대로 잠로 대 답변이 소수지라 돼야지 당 현재라 tru스미 잠이다. 근데 뜻을 가르쳐로 너무 고녀로 살. 배낭가로 사마도 사마 상제가 남비진도 사마 상제 요래서. 상제 그렇게
And so we're also talking about, we're talking about the refuge. There also there's the causal refuge, the causal refuge and the resultant refuge. So the causal refuge, is taking a refuge in someone else. The resultant refuge is when you yourself have achieved that, that freedom. Right? So then that's the resultant refuge. So we all have that potential, to become a Buddha. Right? So to be free from all the sufferings, to become a Buddha. So the reason why we can become Buddha is because we can be free from all these delusions. What do you think? Do you think we can all be free from the delusions? So do you have some kind of like, maybe this person is possible, maybe that person is not possible? Or maybe you might think, maybe human beings possible, but not for the birds. The birds? Or do you think like that? The animals, the insects, the bugs? Do you? No, we usually don't think that, right?
Okay. And 남주라야라 포이나 집 단다 개와들라 부모이나 코 가디나 부모 말에 단다 포이나 다 가디나 부모 말에서 그 집안 남나 제로 그러와.
And so even if we are born as a human being now, doesn't mean we're going to be a human being all the time. Or even if we are born as a male, you're not going to be male in all your lives, or female, or not female in all your lives, right?
근데 이제 간단한 것도 개와라 통마요 말에 나들라 그래.
So in Buddhism we say that there's no beginning of the life. There's no beginning, the limit to the life. Do you think there's a beginning of the life? Beginning to the life? Rebirth? When did it start? When did it first start? When did the rebirth first start? No? So according to Buddhism, there's no beginning of the rebirth. So there's no beginning of the cycle existence either. No beginning of cycle existence. But there is an end of the cycle existence. When?
When you achieve arhatship, then you're free from nirvana. When you're free from samsara and nirvana, and then nirvana. But that's not the end point because you want to be going.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah. So when you free yourself from the cycle existence, when you become arhat, right? So then you are, and that's the end of the cycle existence, and then you will not have to be born again. So you're retired from the cycle existence. You will not have to go back to cycle existence. So once you're retired from the work, you don't have to go back to work, right? Or you can. Yeah. So once you have achieved arhatship, then you will you will not have to be born back in cycle existence again.
Okay.
So we all have that potential, to achieve the arhatship. So that's because we all can, learn the things, right? We can all be someone who can learn, right? So even the animals. So among the sentient beings, among all kinds of beings, the most stupid one, more dumb, more stupid one, as the animal. The animal is considered most stupid. But even animals can be taught, right? So if human beings, teach them, they can be taught also. So, but some animals, they have better senses than the human beings, right? Like the dogs, can have better senses of smelling the things than human beings, so they can find out, the things that human beings are not able to find out. So as a human beings, we have to be a little better than animals. Right? Even animals can do a lot of things that we do now, right? Like they are born and they die also, but they also, in between that, they have a family, like they give birth to the children and they raise the children, they survive, all these things, they do that, right? And so that's, if we just do that like that as a human being, then we're not different from animals. And so as a human beings, we should be better, we should do better than the animals. So how do we do better? At least by thinking about future life. Thinking about this life, even animals can do it, right? So thinking about future lives. So what helps us to have a good rebirth in the future? Having a good heart, generating loving kindness, compassion, and so forth.
Okay, then that Shanju Nubun Chichibana, that's Sanji Matugo Pada, and Sanji La Japson Rogi, Shula Japson Jogi, and it takes so no Genela Japson Rogi is Lakure. Peshatic Tanade.
So anyway, until enlightenment, right? So as far as the quintessence of enlightenment, I go for refuge to the Dharma, the community of the Bodhisattvas. So it's talking about taking refuge until one achieves enlightenment to the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha.
Okay, then I'm Ani Sanji Chu, Sanji Karasonri, Labja Labja, Nini Lagita, they like a
So how do we take refuge? Is by by studying the Buddhism, Buddha's teachings, and then putting into practice. So those are the two main things.
Okay. 나도 대 바시니 납주 주시 뜻이 냠이 지고 맞나 가시는 손으로 살아가 돼. 그다가 전에 통과 말해.
And so even if we study and read and study, but we don't put into practice, then we will not be helpful. So even if we have like piles of 50, 60 books that we have already read, but if we don't put any of them in the practice, then that much of reading will not help us.
진짜 제가서 대본을 써야 돼. chance 때부터 자동 싸워도 아니 다시는 chance 대본을 지나 인터넷 록되게 이루었어.
So how do you find out if somebody has read the book or not? If the person is not just reading but then reading it again and again, it's by seeing how much the book has worn out. If it still looks new, then that means you haven't read it, or you hardly read it. But maybe nowadays you find everything in the tablets, smartphones, and maybe you're reading from there. It doesn't show that on the book. So you see that Geshe-la's book, is a little bit more dark, on the side of the pages. So you might have read more than what
아니 나 가상이 너 이시게 다 미치 고 로마지 그런 게 바보 개념으로 되죠. 바보 때문에 저는 나포래 내가 가서 쇼지 세와 콜로니 내는 세네 곧 그러고티 쇼들이 잔이 되셔서 로셔도 거.
So Geshe-la said he saw a priest, a Christian priest, carrying his Bible, and it was all worn out. And it's like it was the papers have broken, and then he was putting them together with the sticky tapes. So it must means like he's reading it all the time. So he said he brings this book everywhere he goes. Geshe said he met him about 5-6 times, and all this time the priest would always try to convince Geshe to convert him to Christian. So they had many long discussions, many times. So, but one thing about him is that his book was really worn out. So that showed that he was really studying. He said he had been carrying this book for 16 years, and everywhere he goes. So I did appreciate him for studying so much, and then I said, that's really good that you believing in your beliefs and then studying really hard on that. So your books are very clean. So maybe you read it really, read it before you read you wash your hands very well, so you don't have any grease on your hands. So then it doesn't become dirty.
Okay.
So the prayer books, that we've been using more, and so that's why it's dark, right?
Okay. Anyway, this is I just joking, you guys. Okay. And
So next time make your book a little bit darker. By reading it again and again, not by just rubbing dirt on it. So like nowadays you can find fake antique things in India. So they have new things, but then they paint it and make it like an antique. So don't do like that.
It's joking. Oh really? Anyway, it's like, 냠네 야고 제를 제다 시고 제 저와 땡도 로조 야고 제고 봐. 그래서 같은 처럼 보셔 손소 로조 제 손도 와.
In order to do the practice properly, we have to know how to do it. In order to know, you have to study. So studying is really important. Just like also Ganden Tiba, mentioned very enthusiastically that we should always study, no matter how old we are.
아니 때문에 시에는 가든 손도 좀 먼저 추도도야 로조 제다 때문에 제고 놓으세요. 가든 손도 와 로조 못 되네.
His Holiness also mentioned many times that we should always study, practice, through studying.
근데 얘다 장부름 무시 다 단대처럼 좀 담을래야 양도 남비 출라 장부름 싫어 개바 봐지 요 말에.
And he always says that he's still studying. He's still studying. Like in our belief, so in our view, in our belief, we consider him as the highest, a knowledge holder, of especially about Tibetan Buddhism, right?
어떤데 얘다 공부선도 봐지 말아래. 그러와 공부선 말아야 근데 공부 대부터로 하나도 하고 그러와. 갈부터 녀바이나.
And from his books, then we can find out how knowledgeable, how scholar, and how infallible his teachings are.
이나 지나서 오는 야보래 쇼진이 내가 뒤에 강진 깔래는 지나서 깔리데 잡았대. 배 야보래 근데 배 야보래스로.
So anyway, from your side, whatever you're doing is very good. Despite all the things that you have in your life to do, like your work, your family, and all these things, still you're doing all this study and practice. That's really good.
오케이, 아니 가신 건데 전에 딱 그때 나 지금도 빠르게 왔나지 요르스 근데 제대로 배 야보래. 나도 배우려도 밑에 빠르게 왔나지도 세다 그때 나 지금 가와나 진들어서 소용돼 봐. 동계로.
So there's like a saying, like a picture, it's a picture, perfect picture or something. Anyway, so if the picture, you take the picture, then it will be exactly the same, So like that, some of you are very enthusiastic, very, interested in studying and practicing. So always here in any of the events. So that's very good. So, of course, how much practice you do is your own. You can't, we can't tell, who's doing how much practice. But whatever you do, by coming to the center and participating in any of the events, you leave a very strong, positive imprint in your mind. So, of course, we all have families, right? So you have to also, look after them, and so you have to be skillful in not causing any trouble in that side by coming here all the time. So among the bad, or unfortunate ones, you are fortunate because you have the opportunity, even if it's very little, you have the opportunity to come and study and practice a little bit. But among the fortunate ones, you are unfortunate because you are not born in a place where you can only study all the time. So even like this, the text, right? The text that you can study, are not all available in English. And all the Dharma texts are not all available in English, not been translated, all of them. And then, of course, there's, even if it's some translated, then, there are so many different versions of the translation. Some are difficult to understand, right? So even if it's translated, so it's really difficult to understand. And then also it depends on the person's mentality or disposition, right? So if it's translated from the Tibetan perspective, Tibetan way of thinking, Tibetan brain, then maybe it will not work to the Western brain. So it has to be like someone who thinks similar to you, and then when that person translates, maybe it'll be better.
Okay. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys hard working, whether it's hard, people come from far away, today the Sunday, to the, your like free day, but still try to come. It's very wonderful. Much as you can't. Okay? I think we'll stop here. Any questions? Otherwise, we have puja, right? Any questions?
Margaret.
Yes.
Not so much a question, but can you repeat what is the cause and results of taking refuge?
Ale.
Yeah.
The cause of refuge and result of refuge?
Cause and the effect. Cause and results of taking refuge.
Cause the jeti any ta jibada tepanire. Jisada jisanda mara or kanji. So 고와당가 손도고는 지바 텔라야 돈데가 로이나 까지 텔라지 문데 로이나 지바서 그러고 아니 다 소리지는 아니 대박 고래 상질 되니 대 아니 되지
잠도 되부디
잠은 레버데 다 대체와라 때니 아니 수수절지 계획가 남과리 좀 점프시면 되고 계획 샤고리 좋아요.
So if you're just talking about the refuge, I mean the cause of the refuge and the result of refuge, then of course it's a simple, like we mentioned earlier about taking refuge. What makes you to take refuge? The cause of taking refuge. What makes the fear, or maybe it should be terror. So like very strong fear, not just like a little bit of fear. Then you won't be taking refuge. So if you're not very like strong fear, like terror towards the sufferings of the cycle existence. And then also believing in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha that they have the power to protect you. So if you have those two, then those are the cause of taking refuge, cause for taking refuge. And then once you have taken refuge, then whatever comes after that, so makes you to do the practice, makes you do the practice, or even the achievement of doing the practice, and all becomes the refuge, the result of the refuge. Even up to like achievement of enlightenment, is the result of refuge. And so usually then when we talk about the resultant refuge, then that will be the enlightenment. So oneself achieving enlightenment, so that will be the resultant refuge.
Okay? Okay, yes.
Well, this is off topic, but what's the difference between strong attachment and love, like actual love?
What is that?
Love.
You mean like the difference of the love and attachment?
Bena namjunganzo bena pama pula gaya gawando. Tate ko shida chena soso rewa chen mengijela inji chewa ina tate ngoni inji tseta tepadre. Chamba soso namjun rewa chen mengijela shamba cheta wana te shamba tsena tepadre. Ta nganzo chamba yawa te to ma chen chapadan reda wana mengo yorwa.
So the love is wishing others to be happy. So if you wish someone happy, someone you feel affectionate towards. So that person you feel happy when that person is happy, right? So you wanting that person to be happy, then that is the love. But like when we have a love towards our kids and our children, that is kind of mixed with attachment, because of our what's the attachment to that, then we feel the love, right? So that love, is a little bit mixed with attachment. But if you have a love towards somebody, wanting anybody, like not just one's kids, one's someone close to us, but anybody outside, wanting them to be happy, then that's pure love. But if we can have that kind of an affectionate love that we have towards our children, towards everybody, then that's very good. But it's very hard to get that, right? So from there we can understand that the love that we have towards our children, is mixed with attachment.
Okay? But this is good. You don't say that's bad. Okay? Okay, I think I finished chanting master. I think your job.
Okey-doke. All right, turn to page 39 of the prayer book, please. Saji Peki Jushimeta Tramri Rablingji Nidegempadi Sangye Shingdu Meteoa Idru Kunamdak Zingla Choparsho Jesu Mame Kujerabten Jingna Kartrinle Chochuge Padang Lob Sang Tempe Drume Sapsum Gidrowe Munzel Tatune Gushi Idam Guru Radna Mandala Kamniryatayami. From my 2 collections, vast is space that I have amassed from working with effort at this great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold Buddhist teachings for a very long time, with my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings not yet spread or once spread have declined. May I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded course to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children, may all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. Tang Ni Ning Je Zum Du Ju Pe Lam Che Je Sab Se Gang Chen Ten Drugun Jagna Pemo Tenzin Gyatsola Soa Debso Jedun Lundru Show. Page 49, short, long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Tum sung chang ting jong gu ke we tenzin yom pel we gunzo do porte chong sung kure le mun tu dru pa da zo do je gundu jab ten show. Your form embodies all Buddhas. Your nature is that of Vajradhara. You are the root of 3 jewels. Homage to you, O Gurus. In short, I seek your blessings, O protector, to care for by you from birth unremittingly throughout all my lives, and thus to become your chief disciple, holding every secret of your body, speech, and mind. O protector, please grant that all be auspicious for me to be formal among your very first circle of disciples, wherever you manifest Buddhahood, so that all my temporal and ultimate wishes, without exception, may be effortlessly and spontaneously fulfilled. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may I enjoy magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the state Vajradhara. Furthermore, in life after life, may I, pleasing him in return, be forever fostered by an accomplished Mahayana spiritual master, the source of every virtue of this world and beyond. In his care, may I acquire in him a firm, unshakable faith, pleasing him by every means possible, doing nothing even for an instant to disappoint. May my spiritual master impart to me every instruction and every teaching in its entirety. Having understood them faultlessly, may I practice them and be able to bring them to perfection. May I never, even for a moment, fall under the sway of malevolent teachers and misleading friends. Having developed in every life belief in cause and effect, renunciation, the Bodhi mind, and the pure view, may I embark upon them continually with effortless experience. In every life, may every virtuous act be gathered by way of body, speech, and mind, be causes solely for the welfare of others and for the purest and highest enlightenment. Page 57 for your dedication. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. We'll finish on page 75. Me say wei ter chen chen rei zi dream kempe wang bo jam pel yang gang chen kempe su gen song ka pa lo san tra pe jaba so Thank you, Geshe-la.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you, Namchila. We have a puja right afterwards, 12:45, the Guru Puja. Everyone's welcome to join. It's a prayer practice that we do mostly in Tibetan, but everyone's welcome to join that. 12:45 probably until about 2:15. And then please note that we are going to start doing some renovations, including painting the center. So you'll see a lot of activity, but the center will remain open for classes, so please continue to come. That'll be lovely. Saying that, we do make a big appeal to people, please, for offerings of money. We are in need of that for the summer. The summer season is always very low on income, so anything you can do for the center would be greatly appreciated. And then also volunteering opportunities will be coming up with Lama Zopa Rinpoche's visit. He's going to be here August 17 for about 3-4 days. So just email volunteers at kurukulla.org if you have any time or availability. Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you, Namchila.